everyone, it's Jersey Doll. Welcome to Mental Margarita. As you can see, I've already started my first mental margarita for the evening. What the heck is a mental margarita? Well, you're just gonna have to stick around and hang out with us for a while and you'll find out. Hello everyone, I'm Jersey Doll. Yes, I'm originally from New Jersey, Broadway to be exact. Yeah, I know, nobody's perfect. So here's where it all started. Well, actually, where I started. But before that, there were these two women, yep, straight from Italy. Both of their children met and married. There's my nanny and papa. And they had two children. Meanwhile, in another part of New Jersey, there were these other two who met and fell in love and had 5 children. And then these two fell in love, married, and then there was me. People always ask me 2 questions. How did you get into performing, and was anyone in your family musical? The short answer is that I was just born to do it. From practicing how to cry in the mirror to avoid punishment to singing to my pets, I've always had some sort of an audience, even if it was just the kids at school. Not all talent is inherent, but I learned that if I worked hard at anything, then I could do anything. My mother danced when she was young, was a concert classical pianist, and her father, my papa, was a drummer. And my nanny could sing, and my dad was in band for a while. But he wanted to go out and make money. However, my father was a great speaker, an expert storyteller, and always animated and excitable, so it was really no question that I was destined for the stage. My parents put me into dance, ballet, and tap. My teacher was even a former Rockette. But my dancing career was very short-lived. My independent 4-year-old self attempted to take over the class and teach my own dances to my fellow students. When everyone else was dancing in line, here I was on the end, right where they put me doing my own dance. My teacher told my parents that I would not conform, and yes, I was kicked out of class. It wouldn't be until later in my life that I would see that as one of the biggest compliments I could have ever received. Needless to say, that Christmas I got a toy grand piano, and that began my lifelong relationship with playing music. My mom didn't have too much patience to teach me, and I was happy to just pick tunes out by ear. What she didn't realize was that all the years I listened to her play the piano, she really was teaching me. I also watched and fell in love with Liberace and Victor Borge, and my mother would put my little piano in front of the TV for me to watch and emulate them. It took some time to figure out why the other kids didn't get my jokes. Guess those guys were a little before my time, but my mentors nonetheless. When I was in kindergarten, I was fascinated with the music of John Williams and Star Wars and everything about it. I told my mother one day that I wanted to write a song that everyone would remember, and she told me, so do it. I began writing as soon as I could begin playing. I enjoyed singing too, and getting to do both at the same time was just so much fun. We are truly shaped by past experiences, but they don't necessarily define us. It was in 1st grade where I first witnessed prejudice and bullying of other classmates. I felt inside me this urge to help them, stand up and fight back when someone did wrong. That was the only time I ever got in trouble in school for fighting. I felt justified in hitting the bully that hit my friend. Little did I know that the songs I would later write would allow me to fight back in a way that could help so many people. My parents were also very instrumental in teaching me core values that shaped my moral ideas and behavior. So my grandparents retired to Southern California, and we went for a visit. My very first plane ride. My parents fell in love with the climate, and off to the West Coast we went. San Diego County became our new home. First living only a few miles from the beach, which was like a dream come true. Then later, moving to our small farm, which for me, an outdoors and animal-loving kid, was another dream come true. Here I am at 10, egg collecting, one of my chores. I began piano lessons when I was in 2nd grade from our church pianist, Mrs. Phyllis Gober, who to me played just like Liberace, and she taught me for a year before she had to move. She was less unorthodox and gave me so many valuable tools that prepared me for a career as a musician. While I only had formal lessons for a year, the hunger to learn and improve drove me to practice all the time, and I loved listening to anything musical. Yep, I was that kid who would play piano to try to get out of doing chores. But Mom and Dad were wise to that, it didn't work. I began playing in church when I was 7, and when my father was called to be a pastor, became the church pianist when I was 11. I also began playing for nursing homes and other church events. This was the beginning of my musical career. Needless to say, being a pastor's kid isn't easy, and we'll talk more about that some other time. Shout out to Katy Perry. Pastor's family works a lot and all the time. When I was 15, I began teaching piano to little ones in the church and found that I really loved teaching as well as performing. For the next 23 years, I did that in addition to working in various industries and attending college. Music has always been and always will be my passion. It has been my escape and many times therapy. It brings people together and has saved lives. Music is my mental margarita. I thank the Lord for giving us all the healing gift of music. Whether you're playing or just listening, music can inspire minds, write history, and even change the world. As the years went on, so did the pounds. I was homeschooled from 5th to 12th grade, and my mom was pretty sick. I didn't go much into this earlier, but my mother had diabetes and problems with obesity. Her food addiction was triggered by some untreated trauma from childhood. We lost her at age 44 due to complications, and she did a great deal of suffering before that. Unfortunately, her father, my papa, he died at 55 when I was only 2, also from diabetes. My mother and I were best friends. Even when I was in trouble for something, she was quick to show me love and affection. Both my parents did. Because Mom and I did everything together, we even overate together. Mom and I tried every diet, every fad, every subscription, and more, each time unsuccessful in beating the cycle. It was a few years after she died that I went to the doctor one day and we talked about bariatric surgery, after I had been inspired by reading about Carney Wilson's story. I was on different medications for different things, also had been recently diagnosed with diabetes, and was tipping the scales close to 400 pounds. I suffered. Being large is not easy in any way, and it's no fun, and people do treat you differently. It has nothing to do with looks as much as it has to do with health and being well. I underwent gastric bypass surgery and lost nearly 250 pounds, and not long after that was no longer diabetic, or on any medicine at all. I was so blessed to have no serious side effects, and I know that having this procedure did in fact save me from much suffering, and very well might have saved my life. We'll spend some more time on that later, but here are some pictures of that transformation, inside and out, and what a journey it has been. Okay, fast forward. I relocated to Las Vegas for work to be near some family, and the opportunities in music that were there. A true highlight was the honor to be able to work for and represent the Liberace Museum. It was no accident and so enriched my life in so many ways. There I am behind Liberace's autographed beautiful mirrored Baldwin. I also performed for 7 years at Carluccio's Tivoli Gardens, which had originally been opened by Liberace and had doors leading into the museum, said to be the second most haunted place in Nevada. And we'll come back to that little fun fact, because yes, I have stories. The years I've spent in Las Vegas have shaped much of the way I am now as an artist, a musician, a writer, and a teacher. I wasn't fully prepared for being in a big city, and I experienced much hardship while working on my craft here. But there were many beautiful experiences. I had the opportunity to perform weekly for over 10 years, playing in restaurants, hotels, wedding chapels, casinos, tribute shows, off-Broadway musicals, churches, and even on the street corner downtown. And then one day, I met this hip-hop artist named Slykat. Let's just say that we both happened to be in the wrong place at exactly the right time. He said he had a show coming up at the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino. Yeah, I'd heard that lots of times before. It was Vegas. Lots of people promising all kinds of things. Okay, here's my number. All the while knowing it'd be no surprise if it was all just talk. 7 months later, we did a show at the Hard Rock. Guess he was legit after all. We've worked together ever since and share mutual inspiration for the work that we do in writing. Out of adversity, the songs on my new album called Dirty Doll Leg were born. I felt the need to talk about what was happening, what I was seeing on the street, how it was to work in music as a female musician and artist in Las Vegas, what women deal with and endure. It isn't easy being a woman in the music business. There are things that we're asked to do that are wrong and inappropriate, and downright criminal. Ladies, don't compromise your integrity or your self-respect for anything. But yes, I fought hard to become one of the first call female keyboard players in Las Vegas and show that I could hold my own on my instruments, on stage, and be able to adapt to just about any situation. Dirty Doll Leg is an exploration into self-transformation through true confession. Working with Slykat in the studio and constantly trying different things, I found a sound and style that allows me to express everything I need to say, and that has driven much of what this project is. Slykat and I collaborated on a song called Stardust, and it pays tribute to the wonderful artists that shaped Las Vegas. During the course of this show, on Mental Margarita, you're going to hear a little bit about everything. We're going to be meeting different people, traveling, and showing you some many different and wonderful things. People that have dreams and visions, and what they're doing to accomplish them. Thank you for showing up and hearing what we had to say. We wanted you to meet us first. One of the songs on my new album is called St. Anthony. This song was inspired to offer hope, to not give up, and give yourself a break sometimes. There is inspiration in what may seem like a hopeless situation. This is from my new album, Dirty Doll Leg, and it is available on Spotify. Sort of an unplugged version, just the piano and I.
St. Anthony, I've lost my mind. I've heard that lost things you can find. If that is true, please hear my prayer. There's none around that seem to care. Life is so hard and I'm lost in the dark with no way out. Everything seems to be closing me in. I'm a prisoner of doubt. St. Anthony, there's no one here to see me paralyzed with fear. I've lost my nerve, the will to fight. Can't seem to find a shining light. Life is so hard and I'm lost in the dark with no way out. Everything seems to be closing me in. I'm a prisoner of doubt. St. Anthony, I'm giving up. Just what I am is not enough. I feel like leaving out the door. Don't want to suffer anymore. Life is so hard and I'm lost in the dark with no way out. Everything seems to be closing me in. I'm a prisoner of doubt. St. Anthony, I've lost my faith somehow. I've got to find it, need your help right now. St. Anthony, help me believe that when I ask, I will receive. And when I pray, you're really there. My deepest secrets with the share. Life is so hard and I'm lost in the dark with no way out. Everything seems to be closing me in. I'm a prisoner of doubt. St. Anthony, I promise you, if you can help me make it through, to stand for truth faith and walk by faith. I'll hold on for another day.
Did you know you can have more than one mental margarita? My other mental margarita is reading. I've always been fascinated with books and learning and writing stories. When I mentioned how much I enjoyed teaching, I also enjoyed sharing stories with children that would teach them values and different life lessons. Remember, I also said how much I loved animals? Well, I put the two together and wrote a story called The Mouse in the Manger. Several years ago, I had the opportunity to publish the story as an ebook and also as a paperback on Amazon. The only thing missing was I needed an illustrator. Who was going to bring this story to life? The answer came in an unlikely place, a prison. Sometimes a forgotten population, people that are in our prison community. But it doesn't matter what situation you're in, God can still use your talent for good and to be able to spread the message of His Word. So the story was shared with an inmate who was an artist serving a life sentence. He wanted to use his talent to help the community and to give back. He brought the story of Mouse in the Manger to life, and we were able to share this story with the world in 2020. Coming soon are 2 more titles that you can keep an eye out for, and I can't wait for you to see what they're all about.
You're starstruck, here's a sprinkle of the stardust. Hold your champagne glass and your cigars up. See the guys with mob ties drive the cars up. Bright lights, most nights they buy the bars up. Candy coated Chevy cars on the highway. It's Frankie baby, it's on and this is my way. Dean Martin at the Sands this Friday. With Sammy Davis, here's a little hint where I stay. The city shines like Liberace's mansion, and you know Elvis had the whole city dancing. Showgirl silhouette steady prancing. Shout out to June, just the Copa Girls anthem. Legal gambling, yeah, that would tempt me. It's Sin City, holy water couldn't cleanse me. And Wayne Newton had the crowd in a frenzy. Live at the Stardust, the seats never empty. Now if you having a good time in Las Vegas, at the count of 3, I want to hear you scream, Viva Las Vegas. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Viva Las Vegas! And Main Street was the official local beer stop. Enough slot machine noise to make your ears pop. The cigarette girls walking souvenir shops, while Red Fox had them laughing till the tears drop. Before Steve got a win at the right time, Sig and Roy had a long circus lifeline. Now the strips got a lot of neon light signs. Would you agree there's not another city like mine? Years later, Mayweather got the city high, and everybody in your city with a TV watch. Celine Dion got celebrities at every spot. Boys the Man even got Jenny on the block. Now here's a culture shock, the desert's got a hockey scene. Golden Knights, yeah, the #1 hockey team. And we even got the Raiders repping Vegas now. So get the champagne, it's time to bring the waiters out.
Don't forget, mark your calendars. World premiere of Mental Margarita will be September 3rd.
Imagine, if you will, waking up to find yourself in a world without music, without color. Imagine you were the only one who knew the truth about its power of the human spirit. What would you do if you found yourself in the Slykat zone?
Oh, let's do it. Let's go. Let's ride. Let's go. Let's ride. Let's go. Let's ride. Let's go. I took a trip down musical memory lane, and when I saw it was a musical with musical names, who would have thought this hip-hop from J-Cole would go to a zone like something Twilight had never seen before? Something spoke to me and told me, dog, lo and behold, you got 2 verses after this, the figure this code. What's the color of music? Time's running, let's go. So I grabbed my pen and started writing straight from my soul. My first response was black. Man, I just couldn't help it. But then I thought back, like them blue suede shoes by Elvis. You know them rock and roll days, let my grandfather tell it. Smoke thick, you get high when you smell it. Like the Beatles' White Album, get you high when you feel it. Purple haze straight from Hendrix, nowadays it's a seller. So I kept taking it back, like the hair when they gel it. The colors changed now, more soulful, thought of James Brown. When I was home all alone, one day I kinda got in the zone and start thinking, what's the color of music? In the crib all alone, yeah, I got in the zone and start thinking, what's the color of music? At my house all alone, you know, no one got in the zone and start thinking, what's the color of music? Red hot chili peppers, red man, simply red, Pink Floyd, or combine, no color. James Brown music sorta put an end to the lie, cause now they sample the music on them 045. Color changed before I knew it, right before Key's eyes. Then the guitar screeched over drum hard beats. Black Sabbath thing, truth attracted bizarre freaks. You better have your orange 9-double-M with them. When the piercing vocals, dog, and the guitar meets, it was classic rock, it filled all the stadium seats. Then the rock got passes from White Snake and after, but that's another chapter. Rock got caught up in the rapture. When the 80s got red hot, like them chili peppers, things done changed. Hairbands went to deeper records, hot was you still. Prince's Purple Rain, yeah, had a new feel. And MJ's 90 black and white, dog was a new thrill. It's simply red, I think that color fits in the mix. Pink Floyd era left, now we got the Bloods and the Crips. When I was home all alone, one day I kinda got in the zone and start thinking, what's the color of music? In the crib all alone, yeah, I got in the zone and start thinking, what's the color of music? At my house all alone, you know, no one got in the zone and start thinking, what's the color of music? Jay-Z's Black Album, Black Sabbath, Black Ron, Black Moon, no combine, no color. Since music bright as my day, I'm seeing yellow, cause the spirit amazed me. Even though my days are black, like the album from Jay-Z. Like Macy Gray, I see in the sky. Need Johnny Cash or face in Fulton County blues till I die. Guess music's color, different artists, work unified. On Blue Monday, heavy deep blue funk, it's all in my ride. I have my green egg chronic smoke, little chocolate top. Sipping red wine like UB40, I'm all in the sky. There's many thoughts, emotions, feelings, lyrics straight from the pen. Soon as I said all colors was the answer, cause it's within. It's like the zone at end. And then I left memory lane. When I awoke, I heard Coltrane singing. When I was home all alone, one day I kinda got in the zone and started thinking, what's the color of music? In the crib all alone, yeah, I got in the zone and started thinking, what's the color of music? At my house all alone, you know, no one got in the zone and start thinking, what's the color of music? Cold train, look at trail blue, oyster coat, blue, fuck the vine, no, color. You know what it is? Take care. Colorblind. So what? Man, all these colors, all these different artists. I feel like I'm in the zone. Go colorblind. Big time to DJ Mega Mix, my man Steve. They can't go colorblind.